Allah, the Almighty, described the reality of the world and what it is, between its purpose and the purpose of its people, between its short duration and the expiration of its pleasures, as a play that has no fruit except fatigue and a play that distracts its owner from his end. The Almighty said, "Know that the life of this world is but amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition in increase of wealth and children, like the example of a rain whose resulting plant growth pleases the tillers, then it dries and you see it turned yellow, then it becomes a scattered debris. If you please one of them, you will anger the other, and whoever knows the world and its wealth, and knows the hereafter and its permanence, will give each one her right. What is more, it is for those after him to inherit his sheep, and for the inheritor his account and his fine. So which of his inheritors' money would he like from his own money?" And about Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "The deceased shall be followed by three: his family, his money, and his work. Two will return and one will remain. His family and his money will return and his work will remain." The true Muslim seeks in his life to achieve the righteousness of the Almighty and his satisfaction, and takes from the world as little as needed to bring him closer to his Lord, without being preoccupied with the necessary matters. Islam does not hate the dunya in this existence, but considers it a conduit through which the sane person passes to the abode of survival and immortality, relying on it at a specific time, to repair that abode for life, and for this and that one needs in this dunya the necessities, which are food, clothing, money, furniture, wife, housing and a status. The affliction in this worldly life is one of the sunnah of Allah Almighty and is closely related to empowerment. Allah Almighty has afflicted His prophets and messengers, peace and blessings of Allah be upon them, so they were hurt and patient. Allah has enabled them in the land and their victory over enemies. Since the dawn of Islam, may Allah bless and Almighty grant Him to afflict believers and test them to examine their faith, and then build it on solid, firm foundations, then they will have empowerment and victory. This affliction of Allah Almighty is an affliction of mercy, not a affliction of anger. The trials and tribulations that are falling on Muslims today should not be a reason for their weakness and shame in their resolve. Still, it should be a motivation for them to strengthen their faith in Allah, sincere determination, and beautiful patience. Salvation will be possible only by adhering to the Holy Book of Allah, the Sunnah of His Messenger Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, innocence from polytheism and its people, and the obligation of the Muslim community, because the community is an invincible force, and caution against discrimination in religion and partisanship. The Almighty said, "Indeed, we will support our messengers and those who believe during the life of this world and on the day when the witnesses will stand." 52 The day their excuse will not benefit the wrongdoers, and they will have the curse, and they will have the worst home. The believer is commanded to support his religion, and he is commanded to support his brothers, and from this point of view, the kind guidance came from the custodian of the two holy mosques and His Highness the Crown Prince, may Allah protect them, with a national campaign to collect donations through dedicated platforms, to support our brothers in Gaza, and that it is incumbent on Muslims to big pay. The Almighty said, "Believe in Allah and His Messenger, and spend out of that in which He has made you successors. For those who have believed among you and spent, there will be a great reward." This blessed campaign comes as an extension of the historical and honorable positions of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.